Why on earth is the U.S. Congress suddenly demanding FBI files on a 30-year-old mystery located thousands of miles away in South America? I mean, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi thriller, right? But this is actually happening right now. We're looking at this sudden, incredibly high-stakes collision between modern U.S. congressional oversight and a decades-old enigma that a lot of people call Brazil's Roswell.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unraveling the 1996 Varginha incident. For about 30 years now, this case has been a massive, multifaceted puzzle. And as you'll see, it involves highly classified military secrets, a deeply unsettling medical anomaly, and literally a booming modern tourism industry. So we're going to look strictly at what the recently declassified documents, autopsy reports, and official government letters actually have to say.
Section 1. Congress demands answers. The 2026 FBI investigation request.
Get this, the date on this official letter is May 1, 2026. It's straight from U.S. Congressman Eric Burleson, and it goes directly to FBI Director Kash Patel. Congressman Burleson is formally demanding that the FBI conduct an investigative assessment and preserve any relevant records about potential U.S. government or federal contractor involvement in the January 1996 Varginha incident. He's specifically asking the Bureau to hunt down interagency communications, flight data, and here's the kicker, any evidence of U.S. personnel handling biological remains or technical artifacts from Brazil. Honestly, it's an absolutely unprecedented push for transparency on an international case that most people assumed was closed forever.
Now, you might be wondering why push the FBI right now. Well, it actually stems from a total brick wall Congress hit with the CIA. When lawmakers previously pressed the CIA under the Freedom of Information Act about U.S. flights and material transfers related to Varginha, the CIA issued what's known in the biz as a GLOMAR response. Back in January 2025, they stated they can neither confirm nor deny the existence of responsive records. You know, the classic non-answer. And that non-answer is exactly what prompted Congressman Burleson to pivot and put the pressure on the FBI instead. Congress wants to know definitively, did U.S. personnel take custody of anomalous biological materials from Brazil, and are those records being unlawfully hidden?
Section 2. Declassified Military Secrets. Uncovering Brazil's UFO Files.
You know, the events of 1996 absolutely did not happen in a vacuum. According to declassified Brazilian military intelligence reports, anomalous activity in this specific region actually goes back decades. We're talking reports of UFO activity over the SM military base in Três Corações all the way back in 1971. So fast forward to January 1996. The files detail a daytime sighting of a strange creature right around 3:30 p.m. Then, literally just 90 minutes later, the absolute worst hailstorm in 25 years hits Varginha. Now, the military later used this exact storm to explain away the sightings, but researchers argue that the storm actually provided the perfect cover for the military to just flood the area with vehicles without raising any suspicion. And then, just days after that, you have the completely bizarre and sudden deaths of animals at the local zoo.
Section 3. Visualizing the Bizarre. The Encounters of 1996.
So what exactly was reported during all this chaos? Well, the declassified documents outline a super rapid succession of anomalies. First off, a biology student reported seeing a hunched, hairy creature with large reddish eyes just out on a rural road. Then, a domestic worker for a military family claims she saw a video playing inside her employer's home, and she says it showed one creature eating fruit and another just lying completely motionless in a water tank. Meanwhile, 5 totally healthy animals at the Varginha Zoo died suddenly. Autopsies found an unidentified toxic substance in one of them, while absolutely nothing was found in the others to explain it. But honestly, perhaps the most jarring detail for researchers is the sudden, massive military response. Documents explicitly note the unannounced arrival of U.S. Air Force and Army personnel via helicopter, which was then followed shortly by quote-unquote NASA-affiliated scientists suddenly rolling up to a local university.
Section 4. The Soldier's Fatal Infection. The Medical Mystery of Marco Chereze.
Okay, let's zoom in on a really specific medical mystery here. Officer Marco Chereze allegedly came into direct physical contact with one of these entities, and shortly after that, he became violently ill and tragically passed away. The official diagnosis from Dr. João B. I.M. Giannini, the pathologist who actually conducted the autopsy, was septicemia. That's a severe bloodstream infection, and it was caused by something called Staphylococcus schleiferi. Now, what exactly is that? Well, it's a bacterium that typically affects domestic animals. It causes, minor infections in dogs and cats. It is incredibly rare to ever see this infect a human being.
So the absolutely crucial point here is how this bacteria behaved inside an otherwise young, totally healthy soldier. Like we said, normally this bacteria just causes minor skin or ear issues in pets, but in Officer Chereze, it went completely rogue. The autopsy report notes it was hypervirulent, heavily resistant to antibiotics, and it caused incredibly rapid toxemia. His immune system was fully functional, yet he was just completely overwhelmed by it. In a recent interview, Dr. Giannini actually stated that the bacteria's predatory behavior reminded him of a Komodo dragon's venomous bite, basically using a wildly aggressive infection to just quickly take down prey. The doctor made a fascinating point. He noted that while everyone always focuses on the ET, the true mystery might actually be the highly anomalous organism living right under its fingernails.
Section 5. Brazil's UFO tourism trail, where mystery becomes culture.
As you can imagine, decades of unanswered questions have fueled a massive cultural and economic phenomenon all across Brazil. I mean, Varginha has fully embraced its title as Brazil's Roswell, especially for its 30th anniversary. They've built an official ET route, complete with alien statues, UFO-shaped bus stops, the whole shebang, including a flying saucer water tower. But it's really not just Varginha. Peru Bay offers a dedicated UFO tourism route that ends at the mystical Serpent Stone. São Tomé das Letras draws skywatchers and mystics from all over, looking for these rumored underground tunnels to Machu Picchu. And then you have Ziggurat City, which features entire architectural landscapes inspired by extraterrestrial contact theories. Really, whether you're a skeptic or a hardcore believer, you just have to appreciate how deeply these unsolved mysteries have been woven right into the local identity.
And that really brings us full circle, doesn't it? Because on one hand, you have this thriving, fun cultural phenomenon filled with statues and souvenirs, basically a big celebration of local folklore. But on the exact same token, on the other hand, you have the United States Congress, in the year 2026, officially demanding that the FBI sweep its archives for highly classified records regarding the handling of biological remains and technical artifacts from that exact same event. So, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. If the Varginha incident was truly nothing more than local folklore, just an urban legend, or a mistaken homeless man as some claimed, what on earth are U.S. lawmakers so convinced is still locked away in the FBI's files? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking questions and definitely keep exploring.